technical problems, but we're going to have the conversation. How how be it, however, we're able to get it. And so, without wasting more time, thank you for joining us on this episode. We're talking about the topic of men being abandoned by their family, by their wives and children later in old age. What is this all about? How do people get here? And is there anything that we can do to change this experience or to reduce as much as possible these experiences? So we've already spent enough time. Let's go into the studio. Okay, who wants to go first? Uh, I don't know if it's from my end, but Bishop looks frozen. Okay, Bishop, there was something that you played for us, that you showed us about a man who talked about how he sacrificed everything for his family. And now, at the end of the day, I'm going to play that audio. If it will allow me, I actually wanted to play the clip, but everything is upside down. Let me try and play the audio. You can hear it. If you agree to play.
I had a wife and a son, and I lived for them.
You can hear it, right?
They were my whole world. I gave everything to my son.
Yes.
Skipped meals, worked overtime, just so he could finish college. When he graduated, I cried. I thought it was the start of our new life. But things changed. My wife grew distant. My son got busy. They stopped calling. One day, they both left. No goodbye. I waited. Days turned to years. No one came back. I lost the house. I lost my purpose. I slept on streets. Forgotten. People looked away. But deep inside, I held on to one thing. My voice and the hope they'd hear it. Now I'm here on this stage. Not to win. Not for fame. Just to sing one song. For them. Maybe they'll hear me. Maybe they'll remember. I never stopped loving them. So this is my song for them.
Okay, and as he made that statement, people were wiping tears because people were feeling bad and feeling sad. Because the man knows that he did everything for his family. He loved his family, and now everyone seems to have forgotten him. So I actually cannot see Bishop. I'm still having serious technical problems, but I'm sure he's there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. So give me a moment. Okay, please take it away. Bishop, please say something about that.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Wherever you are, maybe it's morning your place, but it's evening here, local time, Nigeria. Now, this is another reality that we are beginning to face as we age in life. It looks like a preacher friend of mine said there's a new devil for every new level. As you grow in life, the challenges change, you know. So there is a challenge that is becoming very prevalent, and that is a challenge where families are split, children get busy, like the man said, wives become cold, or the distance begins to widen, and before you know it, the man at the later end of life almost always becomes the loser. So we are here tonight to look at this issue and to proffer solutions. I want us to always keep it in view that this platform is basically a conversation that aims to, analyze a construct to be able to come up with solutions that will help people who may be passing through such a situation. So for today, we are discussing challenges that go with families growing apart for whatever reason. Part of what we're going to be discussing today is what are the likely reasons why families grow apart, and then how can we mitigate against such for families. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good viewing. God bless.
Okay, thank you, Bishop. Tony, did you want to come in?
Yes, just like the last time, I think it's a very interesting topic that is worth discussing. Um, yes, is there a trend of men, especially from the 50s, 60s, when kids have left the home? Is there a trend of such men in that category, being left alone? Is it a noticeable trend? Is it a rising trend? From my observation, the answer is yes. Why is this so? There are different reasons, because for every home, every relationship, the dynamics are unique. The circumstances are unique. So you can't have, the same reasons why this is happening from home to home. However, there are some things that one can say could be likely causes. Again, nothing is black or white. There are lots of gray areas, but there are certain factors that we can but look at as possible causes why this is happening. And for me, I think, just like I said the last time we spoke about this, I think one of the biggest reasons that this is happening is because of a lack of solid emotional connection between the man and his family. We're saying the man now because the man seems to be the one that is left alone, right? So that's why emphasis is on the man. My thinking is the lack of a solid connection, like lasting, deep, meaningful connection between the man and his wife and kids, might be one of the major reasons we see this trend of the men being abandoned on the rise. A lot of men, because traditionally men, especially in these climes, are providers, breadwinners. But a lot of men see their role in the family as only just that. And so they toil, they break their legs, break their neck, everything to cater financially for the family, meaning the wife and the kids, right? But their contribution to the family for many seems not to go beyond this. They are not present in the lives of the children. They are not really forging a tight relationship, also meaningful, lasting relationship with their wives, with their partners. A lot of men in those younger years take the women in their lives for granted. They go out, yes, they hustle, they bring money. But other than that, how do they treat the women in their lives? Do they show them the care? Do they show them the love? Do they show them the affection? Because if you do not set the right foundations in terms of connection, when the children, who for most of the families are the glue, especially when the relationship between the husband and wife, the father and mother, isn't very solid, the children are the glue. when those children eventually leave to start their own lives, the gulf between husband and wife becomes so evident, and sometimes it's hard to close that gulf. And this is why you see that once the children are out of the home, because there's no real, deep, meaningful relationship between the man and his wife, at the slightest opportunity, here in Africa, in the Igbo culture, we do the omugwo, the mother going to tend to the grandchildren, wherever they are, in whatever part of the world they are. At the slightest opportunity, the women are ready to run, not just because they want to care for the kids, but because they no longer have a connection. It has been dead for the longest time. Just that the children being in the home was like the glue that kept them together. Now, with the children out of the home, there's no connection. And so there's no reason, no real reason for them to stay in a place where they feel like strangers, talking about the relationship between them and their partner. And so even after the traditional 3 months omugwo, they're not in a hurry to return, because again, there is no real meaningful connection. I feel that the way you lay your bed, that is the way you will lie on it. And so as much as, a lot of men, and kudos to men who go out to bust their asses for their families and do all of that, that is not enough. You also need to balance it, balance the provision, the financial provision, by also forging deep, meaningful relationship. Nurture those relationships, not just with your wife, but with your children as well. This will be my opening, and we can delve deeper into the issues after other people have had a chance to put in a word.
Thank you, Tony. I don't know if Shaya is frozen, and I don't know if and his
Yes,
son
yeah.
and he's here with his
here.
sunshades. Shaya, your
Hello?
sunshade made me. I wonder what you're not being very friendly. We can't see you. Can't see your expression. So what is that?
We can see Shaya
You
also.
better-
I can see
Shaya,
him.
and I can hear him.
Oh, I can
Yes.
see him and I can hear him. He's wearing sunshades, isn't he?
Oh, okay. Yes, he is.
This is not, no, it's not a
It's a
sunshade
reading
though.
glass. It's a reading glass.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
This is my medicated glasses, the normal one that I put on. Okay,
Okay.
one of my medicated glasses. Anyway,
Alright.
let me hit the ground running.
Yes,
For
Shaya, go ahead.
Can you hear me, guys? Okay,
Yes.
anyway,
Yes.
good evening, viewers.
No,
Good evening, moderators, and my. What's
Go
that?
ahead, Shaya. We can
Just
hear you.
tell
Go
us.
ahead.
Tell us
Okay.
the thing. They don't want to
Okay.
hear all that. And now his audio is gone. His audio is gone. All right. So I will go
All right,
then.
you better let me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
this
Shaya.
is
Just go ahead.
His audio.
Jesus is Lord.
okay now. I said Tony.
Yeah, his connection.
Can you hear me? Please. A call just entered. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me? All right. Good.
Yes.
I said after Tony gave us his own Logic 101 that will have lasted for a session in a lecture room, and he now ended it by saying that that happened to be his own intro. At first, I thought he has delved into everything that we needed to discuss tonight, and that's just your own intro. Now, what for you?
You're just a
Now,
troublemaker.
back to the basics. I cannot differentiate between what Tony presented today and what he presented last week. You understand? I think he
Yes.
started by repeating the same idea. He's ready to sell that same idea to us,
Say
and
yours.
he wants us to buy it by force.
Okay, say
That's
yours.
good form of advertising, right? Anyway, like Bishop have said, he said that last week. He said life is not a straight-jacketed project. That you cannot make it like, okay, black and white or stop. I want to start my own by looking at it from the angle that we failed to look at it during the last week edition. Number one,
Okay.
what's the essence of union? What's the essence of marriage? If you look at the essence of marriage, and then if you now look at if those needs are still necessary, take for instance, let's start with sex. You understand? It's just like, okay, within marriage, it's expected, husband and wife and all that. And then by the time they grow older, perhaps, number one, the giz is no longer there. The gbas may not be there anymore. That is a factor. Biologically, we all know that at some point, that drive will drop. So that union may not necessarily be there the way it started. That's a factor. Number two, communication in different forms, discussing, gisting, and all that. The wife tends to, like, in most cases, tend to divert the attention towards some immediate needs. It could be family needs. It could be the children that are married. Maybe some of them are looking for fruit of the womb. Our focus may have been shifted to those ones. And like, okay, to the one that is having marital issues and all that. And sometimes women attention could be focused on Christ, on God, on religion, on their own belief system, as against the home. I am not going to exonerate men in this angle. I'm not saying the husband are not guilty too. Sometimes they just like, okay, work and all that. I will try not to walk in line of gender specific. I will try to avoid that so that it will not be like,
Yes.
okay, I don't want us to miss the message or the core message of this discussion. Discussion is going to be debatable, it's going to be controversial as expected. And I want to believe that, okay, by the end of today's deliberation, we should be able to have a harmonized view and then present something wonderful to our viewers. Thank you very much.
I don't even know. Share. Okay. I'll just say that, in the course of what you were saying, you just said something. You actually totally agreed with what Tony said. He said that the women become distracted because they are focusing on the children's issues. And that's exactly what Tony just said in everything that he said. These children belong to both parents, right? Why? You just said it now. It's the automatic thing that it seems that this person is the one who expresses that care and affection, and everybody can see it. So therefore, it's simply natural that they have a closer rapport and bond. And that's what we're trying to remind men about. You can be providing, and nobody knows that. The video, there was a video that I wish I could have, with technical issues. See, the man is very busy, very, very busy at work. Maybe he's laying bricks or something. And the child comes back from school and sees the mom because the dad is away working. And the mom is the one who is there. And the child says, I need this and I need that. And then the woman goes to the man and tells him the child needs this. And the man provides it. Then the woman now makes that need, takes care of that need. Where is the source? The source is from the man. But the child does not know this because it is the woman who brought it.
Yeah.
So now we cannot say that the man doesn't care. However, the child has no idea.
Yeah.
This is the whole crux of the issue.
Yeah.
We have to recognize, okay, if I were a man, I have to recognize now that my children have no idea that I am the one providing these things that their mom is presenting to them.
Why does it matter?
Why does it matter?
Why does it
Can
matter?
I ask? Can I
Why do they
answer
need
that?
to know?
Can I answer that?
Yes. Yes.
Let us stop being utopian. Eh? I bought a biscuit for my son once. I gave it to him. And I said, Mikey, please, can you give me your biscuit? He did it like he took his hand to the back. Biscuit I bought for him. I can buy a lorry load of that same thing. The nature of man is selfish. Man in his nature is fundamentally selfish. So the man looks at who supplies the need. Okay, let me give you a counter in the same spectrum. Let me take it to the end point at the left hand side of the spectrum. Do you notice that families where the breadwinner remains a breadwinner and keeps funding his children even when they are working, do you notice that they almost always they don't abandon such a man?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Bishop, have you landed? Because there's a reason I asked this.
Of course. No, the point I'm communicating is that the person who you are seeing that is bringing the thing is where your attention is focused. For the children, you don't blame them. Mommy.
Is that the way to model for these children? For instance, the reason I'm saying,
just one more minute.
Okay.
Oh, mommy, they said we should buy a football. Mommy goes to daddy and say, hey, these children say they should bring football to school. Oh. Daddy may not even have money that day, but another day he buys it. He buys the football and gives to mom. Please give these children when they are going to school. Mommy hands over the football. Who is Ike looking at? Who is Danny looking at? Who is maybe Shegun looking at? It's mommy that has the football in her hand. Now, our role here is to open eyes of the mommies and even the daddy to realize that there is a gap somewhere that needs to be filled. We're not here to blame anybody. We're here to say, how can we, mitigate?
No, Bishop, I have something to add to that.
Sorry, Shaya. Yeah, I was waiting.
Okay,
I was waiting for Bishop to be, because I asked the question.
All right.
And the reason I'm saying this, Uzo said the kids don't know who. And I asked, why does it matter who? The reason I asked is,
My data is
for
going
us
so fast.
in my home, the kids don't need to know who. We have a united front on virtually all issues. Before we buy anything, we have discussed what we're buying. The other person will be like, oh, your mom and I, thank your mom, thank your dad. This is how it always is. I'm not out of the picture. I'm a man, but in fact, I am even actually more in the picture than
in your case.
Yes, in my case. So I'm trying to say
Um,
a lot of us men abdicate that particular responsibility and think this is a women thing. My own is just to bring her. She is the one to transmit to the children. Why? When I come back from work, yes, I am hustling. Why can't I take a minute to learn about what they did in school today? Why can't I take a minute to learn about their friends? Why can't I take a minute? Why does that part have to be the part of the woman? Granted, some women are full-time housewives, so you can say they have all the time. But we know that the dynamics are changing. Men and women are working. But the women working still have the time to still forge these relationships. Why can't us men do the same thing? Why must our contributions end at provision? Such that the children have
That is the learning curve. That is the learning curve you are introducing.
United front.
Yes.
Such that valid point to the kids. They just see that, oh, mommy and daddy are doing. Why does daddy have to be distant? Why does daddy have to be behind the scenes and only mommy the center of this action? Yes, Shaya, you may speak.
I want to hear what Shaya wants to say about
okay.
It's a valid point, Tony. I agree completely.
No. I think we have thoroughly exhausted, we have done justice to the part of the failing daddies, most
Okay.
especially in terms of not being there emotionally and not being there physically. We did that the last time. You started on that note, and I want to say that we have exhausted that part. But I want to believe, you understand, if you listen to the video or to the voice,
Prompt.
the
Voiceover.
voice note that we played, is about a dad being there emotionally, physically, financially, in every wise, and still the
They grew
kids, they
apart.
flew away like birds, and the wife left him. You understand? The kind of living in that he was referring to wasn't like a divorce thing. It was like totally, you understand, the kind of like a
All
Just
right.
separation,
walk,
Okay.
you know,
walked
So
away.
like
Just walked away.
not like the one we are discussing.
so you're bringing in the angle of a man
So
who despite that, still faces that,
Yes.
right?
That's what
Okay.
Sheyi is saying. Yes. Very important.
So may I
so
may I respond to that, or what do you want to say something about that?
so
No, let's
Shaya?
share finish.
Shaya, yeah,
Is building a point.
yeah,
Very strong points for
no,
that. Very
yeah.
strong point.
don't mind Uzo. She has a way of, you understand, squeezing me out of my point.
Oh,
Anyway,
well.
I have managed
Just go ahead.
to.
Just go ahead,
So
Sheyi. You're
she
making a
will
very strong
just
point.
sandwich my point and me and my point, and
Oh,
then
no, no, no.
whatever. Anyway,
But I like this
I've
point that you
given
brought up.
my.
I like
It's
this
a
point
What
very
that
did you
you brought up
say?
because it happens, and I don't know if you want to say more about it. Do you want to
let's
say
go
more
Okay,
ahead.
about
go ahead, please.
It's a strong point. Very strong point.
it?
Because
Shaya, do you want to
Sheyi,
talk more about it?
well,
No,
I
not at
would.
all, not at all.
Not at all.
Okay, we are
Are you
listening.
No, he has
okay?
brought.
You just
Can I?
wanted to bring it out. You just wanted to bring it
Yes.
forward. Okay. Well,
Yes.
Bishop, did you want to say something about it?
Yes. I want to say that Sheyi is bringing us back to a point that we need to focus on. That the angle Tony is coming from has been dealt with. So let's focus on the fact that of a truth, there are places or there are marriages where the man has done his best, the man is there, and the family just grows apart. And it's a real issue. Yeah. So
Okay.
what I say, I have already said it to Tony, which is that I have noticed that financial capacity plays a major role because if the man continues to provide, if the man were a very wealthy person and the son is even working, and you will notice that somehow the boy won't start showing up in the house. I know people who are working, who are managers in banks, who go to their family house every weekend. They go to eat.
Okay. So, are
They
you
go.
suggesting that men should strive to be able to
I,
hold that capacity? They should do as much
yes,
as possible. Is that what you're trying to suggest? That
I am saying. In fact, I am raising another very strong topic that we should confront.
yeah.
In Africa, we don't have a retirement plan.
Right.
Those of you in the West, there, retirement plan starts from the first day of your salary. Many of us carry everything we have and throw into training the children, paying school fees, paying rent, living for today. We result that at the point of retirement, the man's earning capacity reduces. And in life, whoever pays the piper dictates the tune. So the season where the who are paying the piper changes, the tune also changes. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Yes.
Yes. And you're saying that now, maybe after he has spent his sweat and blood catering for the children and the family and doing everything, training them, now he's left with dry pockets and he's
Yes,
abandoned at the end of the day. And we also don't have a plan towards that. So we need to pay attention to that and remember
ex-
that the children
exactly,
cannot be our insurance, right? So that
exactly,
no matter what
exactly.
happens, you have a way to
To
take care
keep
of
yourself,
yourself at that
sustain
time.
yourself.
Yes, that's
Yes.
true. That is true. So yeah, that's something that we should talk about on its own. Okay, regarding what the point that Shay raised, I would say that sometimes in life you will find that you would have done so much for somebody, and the person turns around and is throwing stones at you because the person either interprets certain things as you did this thing for selfish reasons, and starts to point out to you directly. I've actually had that pointing out to you directly. This thing that you're saying you did for me, you did it because in this other way, it would benefit you. They imagine whatever they have thought uh, is the reason why you did it. Because I can see that that thing benefits you because of this. That's one thing. And the other one is that sometimes people are some just because they are your children doesn't mean that they are saints. I say all the time that any human being can be anything. Have we not recognized that life is we are spirits. Things are spiritual. And there is a lot of things that are going on in the mental that you're not even conscious of. And a person can turn out to be whatever they turn out to be. Just because it's someone's child doesn't mean that the person is necessarily going to care for you like that. We have those things happening. Why don't we recognize it? Sometimes you will see you have a child that is like that. You have to actually acknowledge to yourself, this is my child. I can already see what it's going to look like in the future, right? And if you have done your best to maintain a good relationship with that child and it still turns out that way, there's nothing you can do. Even if you come and you're crying about it, this is just life. It's not all the time that the people that we show love to or go out of our way for reciprocate, because somehow we just don't align. It doesn't happen only in relationships between men and women. It happens even in family. You see, sometimes siblings are like that. Sometimes parents and children are like that. So if we can recognize that, because for me, I have come to terms with that. I've come to terms with it, that this person has a whole spirit that is not aligning with me. So I don't stress myself. If it's not working, I just accept that it's not working. It will help you to have some peace.
Now, can I tweak that point a little bit?
Yes,
That very
Bishop, go ahead.
point. Okay. Hmm. I'm not making trouble. I'm just stretching the limit of thought.
Yes, so
Eh?
that we can look at every scenario, every possible
Exactly.
scenario. Yes.
Exactly. Have you noticed that when the man is financially strong, actually, and there is a tendency of his even breaking his faithfulness to his wife,
Mhm.
there is a tendency to keep him in the home.
Yeah, but we know that that is not real. That is not real. We know what it's based on, right? I,
We're
for
just
one,
observing. We're just
yeah,
observing that it is so. The
yeah,
reason
it
is
is
not
so.
this.
And
It
they
is
are
so.
going to abandon him at any point when he is not capable anymore. So that thing
Exactly.
is still not real.
So capacity is a central factor.
But I
No,
wouldn't try to keep
I,
somebody
I,
because I'm capable
disagree.
of doing
I
things for them.
disagree, Bishop.
Fine,
Yeah.
fine. Okay. Let me see why you disagree.
The reason I disagree is foundation matters. If the love that you have, that your wife and your children have
It's
for
built
you,
on.
is built on money or what you can give, then that is not real love.
Very flimsy.
Not
Mm-mm.
real love. You have built your home on something false and that is not sustainable, because the moment you are not able to be
Keep
that
it up.
or
Keep at
that,
it.
yes, then there's no use of you. As a matter of fact, there are many men capable who are able to do all the things that a lot of women want, but men assume that women only need material things. To a large extent, yes, but they need more, so much more than that. They need companionship, they need respect, they need all of those things. But a lot of men think, once I'm able to provide, and yes, a lot of women will stay and enjoy that. I hear people say it's better, even though I don't believe it. It's better to cry
Tony,
in a
Tony,
Rolls Royce than to. I don't believe you should cry at
Tony,
all. Yes.
Tony, I want to ask you something.
Yes.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, yeah, I'm
You are
listening.
still towing the line of the last thought. You are still towing that line of that thought.
If
Yeah,
that's what
That
you want.
is, you are still.
you
I'm
can't make
coming.
you
I
can't make
want
me
to.
toe
I'm
a
coming.
particular line.
Let me say so that you get what I'm trying to say. Hold on, so that you get what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
What I want to tell you now is this. Now, I have been privileged to work with NGO before, Hope Worldwide. You understand? At
Yes.
some point, we were like, okay, we were dealing with orphan and vulnerable children. And at some point, we were like, okay, let's get this, checking the database of the orphans. So when you
I
talk
like
of
it.
orphan, we are not basically talking about both parents, either of the parents. But we found out that we have, most of them lost their father more than their mothers. You understand what I'm saying? So we're now like, okay, how is that? When you start asking questions, by the time,
Thank you for joining us.
what did you say?
Go ahead. Go
I'm just
ahead.
talking to someone in the
I
audience.
can't hear you, but can I continue?
Yes.
Yes.
Huh?
Tony, oh yeah, now.
Okay.
I mean,
So,
Sheye.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Sheye.
Sheye.
Go
We're
ahead.
listening.
You are
it's
talking about Hope Worldwide, the
okay.
vulnerable children, and the men dying.
So, the database shows that okay, we have most of them lost their fathers more than the mothers. And then when you start probing and asking questions, what am I trying to say is that the fact and figures shows, happens to be an indicator to whatever we were looking for as at that time. You understand what I'm saying? Now, coming back to this, fact and figures that
Oh God.
The
I need
audio.
that point. I need
Okay.
that point. That
Yeah, I
point
need
is
that point,
important.
right? Okay. So let's just take this opportunity to break now and we will continue the conversation.
we have is not.
Okay. So can I do that? Can I go ahead?
You
Am
want
I
us to
hearing you?
continue the conversation offline? Is
Yes.
that what you're
What,
saying?
Yes. So let me
what
just say to the audience that we will bring the conversation back. Let's handle the technical issues and go offline. Thank you for being with us so far. Stay tuned for the continuation of this conversation.